All right, guys, welcome back to the Spin Zone podcast with me, Cake Eater. We also got Chad, Martine, and Vile. How are you guys doing today?
Awesome, awesome.
Amazing.
Dope.
Oh, awesome, guys. So, coming off an amazing Beyblade weekend, we had one of the biggest and probably one of the best events that Minnesota has held, and it was made possible by our very own Vile. So, Vile, if you kind of want to
Woo!
talk about your tournament a little bit, and we can kind of give our feedbacks on that, like we were doing a little bit before we started the show. Then we can go more into what our show will be more about. So, Vile, go right on ahead, sir.
Sure, absolutely. Well, first off, you know, it was by far, and I say by far, the largest event we've had in Minnesota up to this point. Our previous high had been 48, which I had hit twice earlier this year, and then kind of broke my own record this past weekend with 66. But it's important to note that yes, it was made possible by me in the sense that yes, I have an agreement with Kraken Hits to run events there and whatnot, but it's really made possible by the entire community, right?
That
Because
that is 100% true.
I don't just schedule an event and generate 66 people to show up for it. That's 66 different persons that made a conscious decision to forego maybe working an extra shift, spending time with their family, spending time with their friends, engaging in another hobby to come to Beyblade. So it's
hmm
not just about me, it's about everybody. Um
Yeah,
with that
the
being said, the event was great, right? Like there were obviously some minor problems, which I'm sure we'll talk a little bit about as we get further into the
Oh,
episode.
yep,
But
absolutely.
overall, the event was fun. I think most people had fun. I think most people enjoyed themselves,
yes.
and it was really cool to finally get to do kind of a big centerpiece prize like a Valkyrie Volt. Um, I'm definitely looking at, and don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure that we're going to be doing an Aero Pegasus for the next event in April. So,
Oh, let's get it.
I am
Wait.
trying.
Vial, a blue or a red one?
It'll depend on what the pricing on both of those looks like when we get a little bit closer to event time. But it will be
So,
some type of Aero Pegasus.
so
Okay,
definitely stay
okay.
And
tuned
it
for
will
that one, ladies and
probably
gentlemen.
absolutely,
Yeah.
but let's also keep in
So if
mind
you
it will
guys
also
show
depend
up
on how
and
many people show up too,
yeah,
exactly as
if you
Martine is
guys
saying.
show up, it'll be a blue one.
Hey.
I mean, listen,
If we get
anything is
70
possible.
people, I can guarantee it's going to be the blue one.
Yeah, and that's the big thing is like what people need to remember about prizing is that I can definitely do more events with like centerpiece prizes, especially now that our population is rising. But what people need to remember is if they want these big centerpiece prizings like a blue Arrow Pegasus, even with the new release, I think a blue mint new in box is still probably in the 250 range. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Um, if I do stuff like that, unless we have crazy turnouts, in which case, all bets are off. But the pricing has to shift, right? If we want bigger
Exactly.
first place prizes that cost more, that means maybe a few less door prizes. Maybe, it is just first through fourth and fifth through eighth don't get anything. So there are
Yeah.
trade-offs to that. But I think I can pretty much guarantee that unless the numbers would be abysmal for April, that I can do at least a red arrow Pegasus for first place. And then we can kind of see what else I'm able to do based on the numbers, right?
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
the event was great. We had a lot of tailgating outside, and we might have to rein that in a little bit going forward. I got to have some continued discussions with Joe about that. But I think people had fun. I think it was a good time. Overall, I think the event was good. And definitely some improvements that can be made too, but sometimes that's what you got to do. You got to pack the house and then you got to see how it turns out and then you tune things going forward.
Exactly.
Yeah, just like someone said up in chat, only getting better, which is very true. The
hmm
we can really only go up from here, and which we will do. It was a great event and a great starting point. Absolutely, coming from Jess. Uh, yeah, an amazing community that the Minnesota Beyblade community has made, And like Vile said, it's all because of you guys. It's all because of us, and all because of everyone coming together and making one big event. So, like us,
That
as in like
reminds
us
me,
three.
Cake.
Oh, what? What?
That reminds me, Mr. Cake. I'm thinking about it. How can our viewers at home join the Beyblade community? Is there a certain website they can visit to start their collection?
Oh, I believe there is a certain website that people can go ahead and use. Chad, can you go ahead and
And I
remind us what
think
that is?
I think it's everyone at home. Be sure to visit Bays and Bricks today and use code SPINZONE to save 7% off your order. That's SPINZONE at Bays and Bricks for 7% off your order. This coupon is usable twice per account, and you really should think about it because we got a lot of beautiful Beyblades coming up here soon that you're gonna want to pre-order as soon as you can.
Well, and
But
that's
Chaz got a great point.
it's very true. And that's also one thing that we are going to be definitely be talking about later on in the episode, or all the pre-orders that are ready to go. But yeah, guys, go to baysandbricks.com, and at checkout, go ahead and use code SPINZONE, 7% off, twice per account. Amazing. It helps us out, and how we uh, get back to you guys is through our sponsor, through baysandbricks.com. So everyone that has already used our code at spinzone or at baysandbricks.com, we do appreciate each and every single one of you guys. But guys, we have
Absolutely. And cake. One thing
Mhm.
I wanted to say. Last thing about the event before we get
Okay.
into the next topic.
Okay.
I have kind of decided, just so everyone in Minnesota knows, that going forward, 7 rounds is a little too much with a 5
Yeah.
p.m. start time, and especially it's never going to start right at 5. People are always showing up last minute. We know that. I think future events will be capped at 64, and the reason for that is that 64 is the highest number of players where we're still allowed to do 6 rounds. So
Which that's fair. I mean,
we'll
Yeah.
still do
here's
the
the thing,
6
people.
stations when we have those big turnouts. We'll just cut
Right.
that
I
7th
agree.
round right off, though. Keep
Yeah.
things shorter, because I mean, Top Cut didn't get out of there till after midnight. I mean, it was nuts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
And we can talk more about that, like structure on should we, I guess, as like a community, be like, can we at this point, if we're expecting more people, can we maybe start the event earlier and start with that?
Well, that's also a good question. And that's something that now I can't speak to anyone else out there, right? But for Kraken, we used to start earlier, but it was kind of tough on Joe because he was essentially coming in on his time off to like do Sam a solid, you know?
Yeah.
Now, if I talk to Joe real nice, it's possible that some of our events could maybe, doors at 3, start at 4. That's possible, I think. However, what we have to remember now is with their Lorcana scene kicking up, and also with Riftbound now, they have to run one essentially like regional or something a month. Um, there are going to be some Saturdays where we're not going to get that room until 4:30, and there's nothing that Joe can do about that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
Again, we've talked about it in the past. Worst comes to worst, if we find another like venue that is way more open and has like a lot more space for everyone, we may eventually just have to go to that. Not that we hate Kraken Hits, but just because,
It's better
Kraken
fitting.
Hits is all about their card game players, and Beyblade ain't exactly a quiet game for card game players.
No, it's
100%.
not. And to be honest, I will never entirely stop hosting at Kraken. Joe's been really good to me, and without Kraken, I probably wouldn't even be an organizer. I mean, I still have the certification, but we wouldn't be
I'm
without
talking
Kraken.
about at least for like super big events where like
well, and
we
that's
know
what I was
we're
going to
going
get
to
to,
like
right?
70, 80, 90 players. Then we find a bigger, nicer venue
I feel
that
like
allows for the space.
Chad, even if we had 80, 90 players showing up every weekend, like as long as we could start maybe like 2 hours earlier and like us
No, I agree
telling
with
them,
that.
like I think we would be perfectly fine.
Yeah, the only thing I would worry about is we got to like 80 or 90, we'd probably have to have both rooms, kind of like we're planning to for the regional on June 6th.
Yep.
And that's why I mentioned the whole, let's be honest, the Beyblade scene in Minnesota is really starting to blast off, thankfully. But at the same time, we can only fit so many people in Kraken Hits. I'm not saying we give up on Kraken Hits. Obviously, we can still do our free play events there. We can still do like smaller events there, but any like big event, like one where we know it's going to pull in like a lot of people, when that starts happening, I think we should definitely think of like a bigger venue, even if we have to do it at like a mall or something. Just a place that guarantees we have the space for everyone. Because the one thing I'll mention about the event was, man, even with the extra chairs in that room, it was still so cramped.
Well, you say it was cramped. That's why I'm saying like 80 or 90 people in just that room wouldn't work because like it
No.
was pretty cramped in there, and that's considering we had like 20 people almost outside throughout
whole
the beginning
entire
of the
thing.
event.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just hanging out. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so
And that's why I'm
I
saying,
think
like, we're starting to our group of people for Beyblade events is starting to get a little bigger than Kraken Hits can accommodate reasonably.
well, and that's why, like I said, going forward at Kraken, outside of something special like the regional, where we do have the entire store for that day, and we do have it all day long. But if I wanted to push a random Saturday event to, higher numbers, maybe I do have to start looking for something else. And if I am
Yeah.
going to be at Kraken, like I said, I think we're going to cap it at 64, and we're going to start on time, run the 6 stations, and hopefully be out of there at least an hour earlier than we were.
At a
Um,
reasonable time.
Yeah.
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 A
So
reasonable
I'm working
time,
on
yeah.
it. That people kept asking, like, well, you have to go to 7 rounds when you go past 64. And to be fair, I didn't really exactly know that. I kind of knew, but the thing that I decided at some point was I wanted to push it. I wanted to
Yeah.
take this chance to see what we could do and how it would turn out. And we need to
How many
have
rounds?
test. Yeah, we have to
Like
have a
people could
test.
last. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then see how we have to adjust. And now I think 64 has to be the cap there. We have to start on time. We have to have the 6 stations. And I think what'll help too, and this is the one last thing, and then the cake we can move way on to something else,
Okay.
is I think with players meandering between inside and outside, sometimes also, kind of going to the small room, maybe just to cool off for a few minutes and relax. A set of walkies might actually be really helpful. And something else had been suggested was that cool speaker that Grizzly has, is that if
Oh,
we
yeah.
had another one of those, we can Bluetooth them together.
Yep.
So we can have
Patrick.
one in the venue and then one sitting outside so that everyone outside can hear the match calls too, if they're being made. And then maybe in that case, then maybe I just call up all the matches over the intercom. You know what I'm saying? And then everyone can hear them. The judges aren't blowing out their vocal cords. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Or need
because-
vocal cords.
Right. Right.
well, yeah,
I definitely think, yeah, there should be one person announcing the matches. Even so, like, for example, I was outside in my car, just sitting in my car, even though I parked right in front. Like, if anyone spoke over the speaker, I could hear them outside. So
yeah.
for the judges that like don't have that access, that are just sitting inside calling a match, and we are not sure, like, that's great.
Yeah, like I could probably, because I'm not judging during my events, so I could probably normally do that. And if I'm going to step outside and have a smoke or take a few minutes or whatever, I can hand the microphone off to someone else to be in charge of that for a little
Yeah.
bit. And all they have to do is sit behind the counter, and a judge just puts their hand up when they need another match. And then the person behind the counter just calls it off the screen over the intercom, and we're Gucci. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Really not a bad idea, but definitely something to look into for the next big event like that.
All I'll say is this: I wouldn't mind being the dedicated like match caller. I feel
Oh,
like
Chad, I know you would. I know you love it.
There you go.
I love calling out those names, especially shout outs to the blader who came in with the name of Doria.
Doria's been around though. Doria
Yeah.
was at the last team event and also used to go to a lot of Akuna's events at the library. You know what my favorite blader name of the weekend was? Dr. YOLO McSwaggin.
Yep, that's what it was. He was one of my very
Our
first
good-
matches, and I totally killed it. Doctors swaggin, because everything it didn't look like exactly what it says, but after he told me what it was, I was like, oh, that makes sense of what it is.
Yeah. There are a couple of names where it's like, I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I gave that guy props. He broke the Mecha Max record. He had drove all the way down from Fargo.
Damn, how far was that? Like 3 hours?
Yeah,
3
3.5,
hours.
I think.
Jesus.
Yeah.
3 to 4.
Christ.
Goodness.
Oh my god.
And he
Yeah,
brought a
but
kid
we
with
can
him
definitely-
too. His kid was with him. Like the kid was like 5 or 6 years old.
Yeah,
That
dude,
was
that's
crazy.
great.
Must have been
That's
watching
great.
Peter Jackson's King Kong.
Yeah, and then
Oh
they
my
got to drive
God.
another 3.5 hours after the event to go home.
Bro watched Avengers Endgame on the way back.
I mean, probably.
He could have also watched
Holy
Avatar.
cow.
Avatar's that long.
How about one of the Lord of the Rings movies?
Oh my god.
That's
Anyway,
fair.
Bro watched 2 episodes of Star Wars on the way back, dude. He watched 4 and 5, bro. Like,
And then he bought the Grogu and Snowtrooper 2-pack on the Walmart in Fargo.
right?
Oh God.
all right. So we actually got a question from over on TikTok. How do you guys feel about the new
Ooh.
release dropping soon? And which ones are you most excited about? Which we are kind of getting into right now.
That's a great transition.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it is.
Ooh.
So our first off
Um,
is the collaboration piece, guys. How do you guys feel about
Jealouses.
yeah, this is honestly gonna be a really good set.
Look,
Let's see
I'm
it.
gonna
Put
be
it up on
honest with
screen.
you. I'm gonna sound like a hater and put it up on screen, Cake, so
It is
people
up-
understand what we're talking
It is
about.
up on screen. It is up on screen.
All right,
Oh.
is it? Is it? All right.
Why can't I see it?
Because I'm not screen sharing. I
You got
Yeah.
a screen share, dude.
The only people who can
I
see it
literally
are the
s-
ones who are currently watching.
I literally
Oh,
sent you
okay,
guys
can they?
all
Yeah, that's how
all the
that
pictures
works.
in
all right,
order.
all right. I gotta have
But,
another tab open.
Oh, man.
Oh my god.
So, Chad, how you
Listen, while
pronounce
while
this?
Martine is trying to figure out his thoughts.
Listen.
on
Is
this
this a
collab-
must-buy product? Is this a
Yes.
must-buy product?
Yes.
Yes.
Are the Beyblades in this deck set meta?
No.
Who cares
are they
about
based
the
off
meta?
of? Do we
This
know?
release,
Yeah, it's an
this
anime
release has
from
one
back in
word.
the 90s.
No, I
Yes.
get
Listen,
that, but what
if-
Oh, okay.
what are they echoes of?
What are they
The
echoes
CX,
of?
the original CX Beyblades. So I think we have Arc Wizard. I
Duran.
want to say one of them is the Duran, and is Perseus the other one, or is it one of the other CX Beyblades?
That I don't know. Someone set up in chat just Wizard Arc, Fox Brush, and a
Fox Brush is what it was.
Yep. So, yeah.
Wizard
overall,
Arc, Fox Brush, and what? Dran Brave?
Yeah.
And Dren
Yeah.
Brave. So I want to ask you this, viewers. This is a cool set, but is this set worth your money?
I don't think we have
Yes.
a actual release price of this yet, but it's coming.
It's gonna
with,
be it's gonna be like probably okay. Now take this with a grain of salt. My understanding is it's gonna be about 40 USD,
I would think
between
somewhere
like 35 and 40, based
Let's
on
say
the current
like
conversion.
50 shipped. Let's say 50 shipped.
Yeah,
Would you buy
it's gonna.
this?
Martine's 100% right. When I say 35 to 40, that's a straight conversion. That's not accounting for how it gets here and
Right.
tariffs
Yeah.
and all that sort of shit.
Because
So
Listen.
I would Martine. I would actually venture closer to 60 probably. Is what
60
we're gonna
Yeah.
shipped. Would you buy this?
I'll put it
100%,
this
bro.
way. I'll
Fuck
put
it.
it this way. I'll put it this way. I know me and Cake are on the same wavelength with this. There's one word to summarize this release: banger.
Yeah.
Banger.
well, you're right.
Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
Like this is not a set that you get for competitive parts. This is a set you get to bling out a necklace or to bling out your room and be like, look at this beautiful, beautiful Beyblade that's based off of an anime where the main character goes through some stuff.
Yeah, I haven't actually seen this anime, but this deck box, this deck set comes with 3 bays, 2 launchers, and even a deck box. So it's something that haven't thoroughly seen 100% of. We've seen the 3 bays and launchers, but never an actual deck box. So we're going to kind of go through each of them individually, starting off with The purple one, the Dram Brave remold, and the purple and the green color scheme of this thing actually looks pretty decent.
Ava Unit 1. Yep.
Okay, so Chad knows more
That's the main
about
character.
This. Okay,
I know a little bit about this. The green and purple
Hey,
drawn that is
yeah.
based off of the main character's mecha.
Eva 1, Eva 1,
Should be
or
Ava
Eva
1.
Brave.
I think the
Ava.
fox brush is the best looking one.
So this comes on 170 volt or vortex. I'm sorry, 170 vortex. Yeah.
Which is the typical drawn combo. I was gonna say they are all stock combo,
Yeah, but
but
still,
they're
the purple.
recolors.
Oh my god, the purples are amazing. The purple and the green. Oh.
Oh yeah.
So what do you guys think about this bay in general?
I think
This
it's
is
gorgeous.
probably the weakest one in the set.
Damn.
Yeah,
To
I
be
mean,
honest with
guys,
Y'all say I have the hot takes.
This is the
Oh my
weakest
God.
one in the. Show the other two. Show the other two.
All
This is the weakest one in the set.
right, so going on to the next one, then we got Eva Arc. I don't know who this is. Again, going on.
Let me pull
off-
up the pictures for them real quick myself.
Okay.
I can.
So this one is coming
Okay.
on 070
070 elevate.
and again another launcher, another winder launcher. So having a yellow elevate now, it's not really a
Oh, it's
piss
her
yellow.
mech. Okay.
Yeah, so a yellow elevate, and as long as
Love-
this is an elevate that's tight like the sharks,
it's
that
got
we
to be
just-
it's got to be the new mold. If it's not the new mold, then no one's going to
It's
care
the
about
new
it.
mold.
Okay.
I hope it's the new mold, because that would be
It has to
amazing.
be. There's no
be.
way.
Well, just because it has to be doesn't mean that it is, but really hoping that it is. But a yellow
Ooh.
elevate, it's pretty nice. And the
This
orange,
is a beautiful Beyblade right here, bro.
yeah, the orange and the yellow, pretty nice.
Asuka's
Is this the
mecha.
is this the Wizard Arc Echo?
Yes.
Yeah, so this blade is also going to be, I'm not saying any of the blades are competitive, but this is the most competitive out of the three.
100%.
Which is fair.
All right. Then
Then
moving
we've
on
got
to
the fox brush one, which also, I mean, they are all so beautiful. And as someone who knows even just this smidgen about the anime, these mechas are just peak in their own ways. But I mean, the colors just speak for themselves. I mean, just look at them. All
Yeah.
three of them are beautiful. Also,
nicely done.
What exactly? And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is the first time we have seen CX Beyblades where the blades are actually come with painted metal on them. I
Could
think
be.
most CX Beyblades have all been like the typical like silvery metal.
We have a few metal coat CXs.
Okay.
Pegasus Blast Red, and then
Oh,
also Phoenix
duh.
Flare and Emperor Might as well.
Okay. Oh, you
But-
mean the combos I don't care about? Okay, that explains why I don't remember them.
You don't care about any CX combos, Chad.
I mean, it's
I
fair.
don't, except for these. These are the only ones I care about, and it's not because they're good. It's CX Beyblades. They're about as good as throwing a napkin in the middle of the arena, but they look beautiful.
Yeah, and this one comes on 270 accelerate.
Excel.
That's unfortunate.
Excel, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it could be worse. It could be another metal needle.
You know what? I've got a controversial opinion here, and it's not that controversial. Hey, parents, if you're going to waste $40, $50 on fake Beyblades on Amazon, you might as well start your kid off with this set, because at least it comes with 2 launchers and a deck box, which
Yeah,
that
you're right.
plus
You're ready
3
to go.
Beyblades for $50, that's not a bad start for a kid who's just getting into Beyblade.
No, you got extra launchers and actual deck box, which is to my knowledge, something that Beyblade has not done at all, besides that other little paper one that we've got like a while ago, but never in a
Yeah.
complete set like this.
Yeah, now
And
this
from
one,
what I've heard, this is the like ABP or AVP plastic, like the stuff Lego bricks is made out of. So this is going to be a nice sturdy deck box for the
oh,
kids.
is it really?
Oh,
Well, that's
wow.
Yeah.
good because when I look at the picture that Cake just had up, it looks a little flimsy to me. So I'm glad to hear that that's not going to be the case.
Yeah, we will.
No,
Um,
from what I've heard, it's actually got some decent quality to it.
I mean, to be honest though, good luck getting your hands on this product, man.
Yeah,
But
this
who
was going to
knows?
be tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, who
I
knows
mean, let's
on
be
how,
honest, it's not going to be that tough. If anything, the scalpers are still worried about like trying to buy up as many Amazon Shark Scale Hasbro sets as possible.
No,
mean,
it's
you're-
not so much about the scalpers, Chad. It's about if this has 3 Beyblades and 2 launchers and a deck box,
Mhm.
and like this is gonna be a pretty decent sized box. This is gonna be expensive to ship. That's what I think Martine's getting at.
Right. And
No, I get that.
what's the only way you can get this product right now?
I don't even know how we're gonna get it. Where are they launching this? Is this gonna
It's
be like a
only
normal?
on pre-order on TTT's website.
Mm,
Okay.
So it's not on pre-order on any other site right now, at least stateside. So you're probably
Give
going
it
to need a
time.
Japanese proxy.
yeah,
Mm.
probably.
Give it
But-
some time.
Oh yeah, it might be on Bays and Bricks later on. It might be on other websites. So
No, I mean,
Yeah.
and Cake, you're probably right, but Martine's also right
right.
in the sense that those places have to make their margin, so they're gonna mark it up. You know.
Oh, absolutely. All right. But do you guys plan on buying this? I know I probably will if I can get my hands on it, just because it actually looks pretty decent.
I'm gonna be honest. Depending on the price, I
Yep.
think this is one of those few Beyblade products where I might actually shell some money out.
Yep.
I may not use the Beyblades. I may just have them as like decorative pieces. Using that little the 3D printed like stand for the Beyblades. But I
Yep.
mean, imagine having a 3D printed stand in the same colors as these Beyblades. Like, come on, that's just beautiful.
You won't
Yeah.
have to imagine. It'll be on Etsy, I'm sure.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, like, listen, I'm gonna buy this set. Okay, I buy one of everything. I'm not gonna play any of these. These are just gonna sit on display.
Yep.
And it's also
Yeah.
worth saying that when I say I'm gonna buy it, I'm not buying it to play the parts. That's important. The parts are not amazing. And it's also worth noting that I am not going to pay as much as most of the people watching this are going to. So I also have to be transparent about that.
That's fair.
Would I pay what I'm going to wind up paying for it? Yeah. If it winds up being 70, 80 bucks over here, would I want to pay that for it? Probably not.
No,
You
probably not. Yeah, obviously, same people up in chats are saying the same thing. It depends on the price, which is very true. If it is, like Vile said, the $70 to $80, I'm gonna say no. But if it's reasonable for 3 bays, two launchers, and a deck box,
And a deck
w-
box.
Right.
and shipping, yeah, I might have to pick this sucker up.
I'm just saying,
I
but
mean,
if you're
that's the thing to think about too. Like, I get where Martine is coming from with,
Oh
Right.
yeah,
not
That's-
liking this set, but what Martine is looking at is the 3 Beyblades, which I mean, like y- they're great if you have nothing else. They're terrible if you have anything, you know, any like competitive combos. But the way I'm thinking of it is you're getting 3 Beyblades and a bunch of random parts, but more importantly, you're getting a very rare to find licensed deck box from Beyblade as well as 2 launchers. That's where my mind is at. Is like you're getting a nice deck box. That's already pretty nice. You're getting 2 launchers, which Minnesota, I see how some of you guys have been breaking your ripcord launchers. You definitely
Right.
need 2 more. And then you get 3 Beyblades, 3 ratchets, 3 assist blades, and like 3 bits as well. Like you think about that, and like $50, like that's beautiful for all of that. Like that's if it ends up being $50 or in that range, like that's a no brainer at that point
Yeah.
because that's
but
so much stuff for $50.
100%.
Yeah,
But if it's
like,
around
Chad,
the
Can't even get
$80
good
mark,
Lego sets for $50 anymore. Like this is a
like
deal.
if this is
Listen.
$80, you know, you might as well shell the extra couple bucks and get yourself a Red Arrow Pegasus at that point.
yeah, I think this is all going to come down to the average player over here. You're going to have some people that aren't going to buy it no matter what because the parts aren't overly competitive. You're going to have some people that would pay $100 for it because they love this anime. And
Yep.
I think
Yeah.
most people are going to fall somewhere in between. It depends on what our price here in the States winds up being, you know, when it comes out. How much can Chad or Cake or Martine get one for on Bays and Bricks or other similar sites?
Exactly. Because, again, it all depends on the price. But, like, a great example is I just looked online right now, and the pre order for the Beyblade that everyone is scared of, Bullet Griffin, is $31.99. Like, if this set ends up being $50, like, Bullet Griffin for $32 or 3 Beyblades, 2 launchers, and a deck box for 50. Like, that's a no brainer. That's a no brainer.
Wait,
You go for the
where
3 Beyblades.
where is
I
it
mean-
$32 on?
Your favorite website.
My actual favorite, or you're trolling me, my favorite?
The trolling you favorite, the one that sells proto launchers for $2.
Oh, see, so that's
The website
That's
that
in-
shall not be named.
yeah, but
Oh, sorry,
this is
I got the price wrong. It's actually $35 for the pre-order.
Oh my god.
well, to be fair, like that's a real issue with Bullet Griffin because you know, let's talk about a website we can say the name of on the show. On Bays and Bricks, the Bullet Griffin pre-order is $41.99.
Mhm,
Yep.
So
mhm.
so and the what keeps getting blamed is the huge box. Apparently the box is massive. My problem
Which-
is that I don't think this Beyblade is going to be meta redefining. Okay, I think it's going to be a very gimmicky blade that a few
It's not.
people are going to mess around with. I don't think it's going to be anything crazy.
No.
And we can already pre-order the Hasbro version on Amazon right now for $13.99.
Yep.
So unless you have to have this thing day one for some reason, you're literally paying 3 times the price to bring one over from Japan. It's nuts.
Yeah. And I mean, I get partially why, because I think at least from what I've seen, the box is obviously the big TT box comes with more than just the Beyblade. It probably has,
It
a
has the
really
full-size
good
launcher.
Yeah, and that's probably part of why it's so expensive. But we also have to remember this is a Beyblade that comes with Hexa, and Hexa has quite the upcharge because it's literally a bit that redefined how Beyblades work recently. And I think it also has to do with the price, like Danny kind of touched on earlier. So many people are afraid that this thing is going to ruin the meta. It's going to break the game. And it's like, guys, there are 3 burst Beyblades that do this exact gimmick, and they are absolutely god awful. Like, they do not do their job right. Because the thing is, and you guys have to remember this, that top blade that pops off is not going to be anywhere close to 40 grams, let alone like upper 30 grams. I'd be surprised if it even manages to reach 25 grams. It is a small little thing. It is just meant to like bounce around the arena and hit someone else's Beyblade while the main Beyblade does the work of, well, trying to be Wizard Rod and probably not doing so well.
What if it was 50 grams, Chad?
Damn.
Then how is
Then
it popping
what?
off? Then how is it popping off? Exactly.
By slapping you with all this metal.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Um,
jeez.
Yeah,
Save it for the
I mean-
stadium.
pretty much. I mean, my thing with this is everyone who watches the show and everyone who knows me locally knows that I import stuff and sell it locally. I don't think I'm going to bring this thing in unless I can charge significantly less than what Bays and Bricks is. And that's not to
Yeah.
talk shit about Bays and Bricks or whatever. I'm just keeping it 100. I cannot, if this doesn't ship out until May, I cannot late May, early June ask my customers to pay $42 for this when they can wait 1 month and get it for $14.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
insane.
And what's funny is we did talk about this exact same situation like quite a few podcasts earlier where it's like, listen guys, if you need it right away, sometimes TT is the only option, but for 90% of us watching and listening, just wait for the Hasbro version.
Just wait
Like,
for the Hasbro.
I mean, look at Hasbro Aero Pegasus. People got floored with the fact that the Hasbro Aero Pegasus, the red one, tends to actually be heavier than the TT one. Just wait for Hasbro.
Right. If it's in the anime, it'll come out eventually.
Yeah.
100%.
All right. Are we ready to move on? Anything else
Uh-oh.
about this collaboration deck set?
Nothing.
Or anything else about Bullet Griffin?
Nah.
Nah.
I think
We've already
Bullet
talked
Griffin.
about Peak Simina and funny gimmick.
Don't buy Bullet Griffin.
I'll buy
It's
not
Bullet
for
Griffin,
$42
but not
not
for the
for
Hasbro
$42.
price.
It's
I'll buy
not
it
a
for the
must
Hasbro
buy.
price.
It's not a must buy.
All right. Well,
Right now.
speaking of a must buy, at least for me, next is if you guys have seen that Scorpion Spear, that really
Yes.
that really pretty pink one with the green mold or green color scheme with it.
And let's not
This-
forget, it's got
I
a
sleep.
beautifully.
I sleep.
Now this one to me is way more buyable than the thing we just talked about.
Nah.
I mean, first
Yeah.
of all, it comes with Zap, which is a part that's actually starting to see a lot more use, especially on Meteor Dragoon. People have been really liking that when they don't have level.
Yeah.
But let's also talk about that it's a color of Zap that we haven't had yet, which, congratulations, we're finally getting like rare parts and new colors, which is something that we've been asking for a while now.
Yeah.
But
pink
also, like, hey,
Scorpio. It's
it doesn't look that bad.
no, this thing looks
Oh, I think it
gorgeous.
looks- Yeah, it gives me a chubby for sure. Like
Whoa. Woo. Yeah, zero.
Make sure to
080.
click that one.
Oh well, that's your job, Chad. Zero. You know, I'll
Is
do
it
it for you.
because the
just-
Scorpion has the pointy tip at the end?
Oh my god. Anyway, 080, nothing to write home about. I think that's what it is. 080 is 060, zero something. It's zero. We don't talk about zeros.
I mean-
zero shits given.
That's
Damn.
accurate. Hey, that's fair though. No. Who
No,
the
that's
hell
accurate.
runs? Yeah.
I mean-
070. Okay.
Well, you say that, but a Beyblader by the name of Low Tier Beyblade has been running that on his Sting Unicorn.
The only Sting unicorn we worry about is stock combo here, but other than that, yeah, black Zap looks really nice with the black tip and then the pink shaft. It looks pretty nice.
Women love the black tip and the pink shaft cake. You're absolutely
I
right.
knew that was coming.
Right.
I knew it. As soon as Cake said it, I was like, "All right, who's gonna say it? Who's gonna
Vile,
say
of
it?" 'Cause
course.
it was on my
Vile,
mind too.
of course he would.
Especially when
If
you
he
get
wouldn't have,
bursted
I
and
would've.
see that pink shaft, right?
Always. But yeah,
But it's got a
Cake-
little bit of
Cake-
burst resistance, don't you think? So it'll have more stamina.
Oh well, Cake says his low rush bursts very easily.
hey, I told you that in confidence, there's buddy, but I
When she
appreciate
burst
you.
on your bit, the pink
Dude.
shaft goes.
When your bit bursts, it doesn't have a lot of stamina. So switch to a stamina bit with less burst resistance.
I am done.
Yeah.
100% done.
Yeah,
I call moving forward. Martine has to take a drug test before coming on the podcast.
I third that. We just skipped the whole second part and to just go right to the third. But yeah, let's kind of get back on the track. This thing looks gorgeous. I forgot how to get this. Do you guys remember how? I don't think it's a
Yeah,
pre-order or
it's-
anything.
Dude, it's another raffle, man. It's like
So-
it's
It's a
like a
raffle
hover
day.
wyvern. It's a raffle
No.
thing. You think you're gonna get this for $100 or less? Hell no.
So
this is gonna
so
be
my
like $50
my
plus.
my understanding is this is going to be a Beyblade bar exclusive
That's what it
before
is.
moving on to the Rare Bay Get app at a later date. So
Oh,
if the Dram
Yay.
Busters and their original pricing is anything to go by, this will be over 100 at release. It will probably settle down later, but it will probably take a few months.
Yes.
yeah. Hey, a beautiful Beyblade with parts that we definitely needed recolors of. That's all
Oh,
we
yeah.
ask for.
Yeah, like this
I
thing.
think this
If
thing
I
is
can-
really beautiful,
Yep.
but it's another shelf piece.
No, I would actually. Ooh, oh shit.
It's another shelf piece, dog.
Cake, you say you'd play it, but are you going to play your Samurai?
You shut your mouth.
Yeah, see, I know you're not going to play that. You're not going to play this either.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I
You know-
love Scorpion, but it's just so pretty. So I think Martina's right on this one.
I was gonna say, if nothing else, you could try running it, but how's your success with the glide bit been going?
Pretty decent, especially on Shark.
Incorrect.
But you weren't there last week, so Silver Wolf on Glide is
Yeah, you're
actually
right.
pretty decent.
Yeah, Chad, you didn't even play in the tournament, Chad. What are you talking about?
I was talking about.
I
free
was
play.
there.
Yeah, Cake was free playing with his Astroglide.
Yes, I was.
He was scaling on his shark till he glided.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyway,
that's
just a recolor of Scorpio. If I can get my hands on it, I probably would get it. I don't know about you guys, but that's
That's
just me.
fair.
I'm going to get one, but I'm probably not going to play it.
Just another shelf piece.
Yeah, I have a lot of shelf
Yeah.
pieces, bro.
Hey, no, that's fair, man. That's fair.
Nothing wrong with that.
No.
Some Beyblades are better shelf pieces and paperweights than they are actual Beyblades.
That's true.
Speaking
Cake,
of
what
which,
other
I
new
should,
releases do we
check out
have?
my rock golem.
So Travis up in
Ooh.
TikTok. I'm just gonna answer your question. He was talking about the orange samurai, not the normal green one.
Ooh,
But also, I don't know if you guys have seen, but the weight for Night Fortress and Ragnar Rage have been leaked. Also, with the Ragnarok has also been leaked. I don't know if you guys have
Yep.
seen those.
Hmm.
Yeah, so Fortress on average, it's going to be about 47 grams just for the whole kit caboodle.
Okay. What about the main blade?
I just have the whole set.
Isn't Fortress the Infinity one?
Yeah, it's
Correct.
that.
They all are Infinity ones.
They're all
yeah,
infinities,
yeah.
yep.
So yeah, Martine, the only thing that comes apart on that Beyblade, to our knowledge, is just the bit, which that's not going to affect the weight much.
Well, we could assume that the bit is probably like so on average, right? Like a bit is like 2 to 3 grams, and then I'd
No,
say a
guys.
ratchet is like 6 grams.
Chad, this is not the Infinity UX line that you're talking about. This is the Infinity CXs. So these have
Okay.
Oh,
These
with
have-
I was
the
about
blade?
to.
yeah,
I'm
these
thinking
actually
of
have
Aegis then.
yeah, these actually have 6 pieces as opposed to the normal 5 that CXs normally do.
Oh, that
So-
makes sense then. That makes sense.
Yeah, so this is not that impressive to me because my Scorpion Sphere blade weighs like 40 by itself, just the blade. With a
Yeah,
ratchet
yeah.
and bit, I feel like I'm at these numbers. And Scorpion, I love Scorpion personally, but it's not dominating the meta, you know? So
Yeah.
I don't know that these things are going to be crazy. Not unless they have good shapes. If they have better shapes than the CX blades we do now and they stay up better, that's different. But these weight numbers are not going to win battles based on weight alone.
It also depends on where the weight is distributed. Like if all the weight is on top, like they're unplayable as all hell. But if the weight is like more balanced towards the center, then we get some CX Beyblades that might see some like actual usage. Like the biggest problem with CX is just the fact that they're always so top heavy. And that's why heavy has been such a huge help to CX because it helps to balance out the weight.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm curious about with this new extra piece. I'm curious how that will or will not affect the weight distribution of these new CX Infinities in comparison to the classic CXs that we're accustomed to.
From what I've heard, at least, it should help because the way, at least from what I've seen for the parts, is that the top layer is plastic and then the layer below it is metal, and then it goes into another. I think it goes into another smaller plastic, and that's where the ratchet attaches to. Which, I mean, if it's like that, which we had in Metal Fight, that will make them a little more balanced, but it just depends on how much weight the actual metal disc has.
So someone said up in chat that Ragnar's blade itself is about 38.7 on its own.
But blade meaning what? Like what do we mean by that?
Yeah.
Do we mean the upper ring, the middle ring? Do
Everything-
we like what are we talking about here?
That is a good question. So everything except for the ratchet and the bit, or so hopefully we can kind of get clarification on that. That's just kind of what he said. But
Yeah.
and then the Ragnar's weight is 47.71. So he's saying the upper, middle, and the assist are about the 40.
Okay, so the
30
fully assembled blade portion.
Yeah, so everything except for the ratchet and the bit, or 38.7.
That's decent then. Okay, again, they've learned the mistake with CX, which is they made them just way too top heavy. Now
Yeah.
they're shifting the weight down a little bit, which should help these Beyblades. So these should see some play, depending on if the shape is good, like Vile said, but also like if we get some parts that really make them pop in the arena. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he's saying that everything other than the ratchet and the bit total out to what, 38.7?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm not trying to rag on the viewer here. Let me make that clear. What I'm trying to say though is that I'm looking at like Dran Brave right now. That same configuration, everything but the ratchet and the bit, is only 1 gram less. And Dran Brave is abysmal. I mean, it's terrible. I mean, no one runs it. So like these things are going to have to get by on their shape and their weight distribution. Their total
Yes.
weight
Oh,
is
yeah.
not going to be anything to write home about.
I don't think these bays
Yeah.
are, besides like the new bit that we're getting and the couple new ratchets, I don't think these lines are at really anything to write home about.
No.
I want Fortress Knight to be good. I mean, I really do. Like, I'm praying in my heart and my soul that this thing is an amazing Beyblade. I just am not seeing it right now.
Right.
We'll
Yeah.
have to wait and see, I guess.
If these bays
I'll tell
don't
you-
weigh more than Pegasus Blast on heavy, like why would you run it?
That's
Well,
true.
There
They'd have
is
to have a great
reason.
shape or a great distribution.
And
Yeah.
I do have some good news about Knight for you, at least there, Vile, which is a lot of people in the Beyblade community have been looking at that new Knight Beyblade, and a lot of people are recognizing that it is very much shaped like a menace from the Metal Fight saga, that being Gravity Perseus, which is shaped like a rounded triangle, which I mean, if
Ew.
it does any kind of numbers like that Beyblade does, that's really good because that Beyblade is currently banned in limited because of how broken it is.
Interesting.
Well,
Because it's just
Yeah.
decent at attack and defense. Like it's
You know
the
what?
perfect balance.
Chad, Metal Fight never had a shark scale.
Yes, we did.
that's
It's
a fair
called Lightning
assessment.
El Drago. It was called Lightning El Drago, and that thing sent everything flying.
Oh my god.
See, that's wild to me because the only context I have is Lightning El Drago in X, which sucks the
It's
big
garb-
one. So
it's garbage.
It's strange to think
Wait,
about it
wait.
as being this overpowered attacker.
Is upper attack better or is lower attack better?
In Metal Fight, upper attack is everything, which is why Lightning El Drago did so good. So, to give you a context of what it was like in Metal Fight, imagine Meteor Dragoon on without the rubber on like a 950 and like a under level.
Interesting. I'm not sure what to think of that.
Metal Fight has
Yeah.
Spiral Capricorn.
Oh yeah, Spiral Capricorn too. No, we have a lot of Beyblades that hit like shark scale.
I don't
and
know.
Metal
Just
Fight. It's just
someone
they
just
don't
set that up in
move like
chat.
X Beyblades. No, I almost forgot about Capricorn.
You know,
There-
Cake, Wayward saying over here on the YouTube chat that we should have an episode sometime where we all show off our collections.
Interesting.
Oh, great.
So basically, just a
I
vile
mean, I'm
episode.
happy to show off my
Of-
super illegal build.
Yeah, I know you are, Chad. Well, to be fair, Wayward doesn't know what type of collections you guys do or don't have. You know what I'm saying?
That's fair.
He's never
That's
been
fair.
to your house.
That's fair. Although I will say this to you, Wayward, you've definitely seen my collection because it's not a lot.
Chad's like, it's what I bring with me every day.
Yeah.
Pretty much. That case holds all of my Beyblades that aren't in my deck box, and everything else is just CX parts or just random parts that I just threw somewhere.
You don't have a sealed collection?
No,
Hmm.
I don't
have-
buy
Martine does.
I don't normally buy
Interesting.
Beyblades to like set them on a mantle. I buy Beyblades to play with them. That's the whole
Hey.
point.
All right. So besides Fortress and Ragna getting their weights kind of leaked, we also got Bahamut's weight is also released, and this is just
Oh boy.
just the bay itself, which is 40.15.
Another disappointment.
That one's a little heavier.
40.15.
Yeah,
That's a little heavier.
40.15.
Yeah,
Yep,
but
not much.
we're talking about
Martine.
CX blades, guys. Like,
I'm a rebuttal.
I'm not
you,
saying it's
Martine,
amazing, I'm
'cause
just
you're
saying it's a little
forgetting
heavier than the other two.
what Bahamut comes with. Like, I don't think anyone's going to buy Bahamut to use the Beyblade. They're going to buy it for the 150. Let's keep it a buck. That 150 is
Cake.
going to be the most used part since like 960 and 160.
What's up, Val?
Okay, speaking of collections, where's he at, brother? Where's he at? Where's he at right now? Let's see him.
Ooh.
He's in the car.
Oh, okay. You
Oh,
hit
that's
him
right.
away,
You did.
huh?
You showed him off at the tournament on Saturday.
Yeah, because I
remember.
still need a stand for him.
Yeah. So instead, he sits in the car and gets all cold and lonely.
Along with my other bays
Sad.
that I haven't had time to bring inside because I had a
Yeah.
Because your low rush bursts too quick.
Anyway,
You know, it's funny you should mention that. Someone actually managed to break another low rush at the tournament on Saturday.
and a normal
Who was it?
rush.
Oh yeah, and a normal rush got broken. It was one of the younger bladers. I don't remember exactly who it was, but yeah, they were playing around at my stadium, and yeah, they launched weird and had a midair collision. And right as I called midair, and we went to look at the Beyblades. Yeah, his low rush, part of the disc at the bottom of the low rush just got absolutely just knocked off, and it's like, oh, you got to get a new one.
Interesting.
Yeah,
it's tough.
I
That
know,
happened to me before.
I know my buddy Duncan had Acuna tell him one of his rush bits was illegal going into Top Cut because a bunch of the teeth had got chewed up.
Oof.
Ooh.
Also, and this didn't break because level just doesn't break apparently, but I actually had a level go flying from Baytastic Station over the counter back behind where I was sitting. Yeah.
Oh, good distance.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, right. It's pretty impressive. I like that.
I guess Joe Star also broke a low rush. And then
Maybe it was Joe Star.
And an egg hooked it up.
Yep, and I know
Yes, that's right. That's right.
Slushy also broke one because I lent him one of mine. Normal rush.
Oh, see,
But-
that's great. It's so funny. Wayward goes, Joe Star Blader broke a low rush as well. Egg sold him a new one.
And then here
Literally
comes-
10 seconds later, Egg, sup nerds. Oh,
Got it.
wow. He sold Joe Star one of his personal ones. That wasn't
Wow.
even part
Yeah.
of like his business.
What a solid guy. Welcome to the Beyblade community. Like we said in previous
Thank
episodes,
you for
I
being
think,
here, Egg Salad.
I think Beyblade has probably one of the best communities there is.
Oh yeah.
I don't
And
disagree.
no, and
I mean,
we've all been a part of a
there are
lot of
some
different
things that can be
communities.
worked on, which we'll talk about once we, really
My
discuss
God.
the tournament, because there's some things that need to be discussed.
All right.
Right.
Well, anyway, discussing Bahamut's blitz weight. So 40 grams for just the blade for the bay itself. I think it's pretty decent. I don't know what the whole bay is gonna weigh. Probably closer to 45.
Uh, I mean,
Probably
I don't think the
44, 40.
150 is going to weigh that much.
Oh, it is a 150, isn't it?
It's a
Yeah,
150.
Yeah, it's
One-
150.
yeah.
Bahamut's on a 150,
Yeah.
and then it's on that weird new bit, whatever it's called.
Who's on Underneedle? Is that Night Fortress that's on Underneedle?
Yeah.
I think.
Yes,
Yeah.
like Ignite or
Under needle.
yeah. Blitz is on like Ignite or something.
That's
Here's-
right. It's
here's
on
m-
that Ignite bit.
Yeah,
I
Ignite.
Here's
don't
my
know.
bomb at Blitz right here.
Look at that.
Wow.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Wait, you got it?
No,
No.
this is
Yeah,
is-
he's got
this
it,
is-
bro.
this is
Hey,
the
pay attention to
Japanese.
the
Fang Leon.
screen.
Yeah, it's the
The
Japanese
beautiful
Fang
Fang
Leon.
Leon.
Oh.
The
Yeah,
red.
it's not the English one.
Ignite might be a
What?
hit or miss, which is true. And then 150 is going to be really nice. So probably out of all these new CXs that are about to be released, this is probably going to be the one to get, especially in the stadium set. That's definitely going to be probably the number one hit. I don't know what the
I'm
blue one
calling
is
it
going.
right now, by the way. I'm calling it right now. I'm calling my shot like Babe Ruth in his prime.
What are you
150 is going to skyrocket in use in tournament scenes. I'm calling it right now.
Oh, 150 is
'cause-
going to be nuts. I mean,
Yeah, because you got 150, 160, 170. What the hell is a 180? Garbage.
Not even that. Like,
mean-
you could do a 150, a 160, and then a 960. Like, how
yeah,
are you
that's what I
beating
think
that?
that's what I think the most common configuration is going to be 150, 160, 960. I think
Yeah.
that'll be the play.
Also,
Which is very
I
true.
can't wait to see Wizard Rod 150 Hexa versus Wizard Rod 150 Hexa versus Wizard Rod 150 Hexa.
Right.
I wonder, Chad, have you done much testing with AJ's 150 on Wizard Rod or not?
I have. It's awful. And I
Awful
don't mean
good
the
or
part is
awful you
awful.
wanna-
I mean,
It's awful to
going
play against.
Yeah, because here's the thing. So you know how Shark Scale likes to get under
Wait,
Wizard Rod 160?
Wait, Chad. Wouldn't the meta be 450, 150, 160?
It could.
He's using 450.
I
On
love
Shark?
450 on Shark Scale.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I guess you could, but the meta for Shark Scale right now, at least from the Redditor who, does this for a living by the name of BBX Weekly, is saying the meta for Shark Scale right now is 170 low rush.
Yeah, that's not what CF Grizzly, the third ranked player in WBO right now, says. He says he says 450 jolt.
Yeah.
I mean,
and
you
honestly,
could run it on 450 Jolt, but
Yeah, man.
no, and
I
I do.
prefer
again,
450
I'm
jolt.
talking.
That's just me.
450
We're
Jolt.
talking
Oh,
about
yeah.
someone that collects like information from all over the world. So when I say overall, I mean like out of all the communities that are currently playing Beyblade X, the ones that are making top cuts mostly around the world are using Shark Scale on 170 low rush.
Yeah,
And
bro.
that
Go
is just
tell,
because it gives it
go
an
tell that guy
interesting
his data
height.
is skewed, bro, because not everyone plays on the same rules.
Yeah, I mean that's the big thing is
That's
like
the point of me saying overall.
yeah, I mean I think there's not too many players I would take, over the number 3 ranked player in all the WBO land. And I'm not saying the whole world uses WBO, we know they don't. But
Yeah,
a lot of
and that's
America does.
the point I'm making.
And a good part of the UK does, and Australia, a lot of them do, and other places in Europe as well. Now, Asia really doesn't, but I think as far as the Western meta is what I'll call WBO. I think WBO is representative of the Western meta, and
I can
and CF Grizzly is one of the best players in the West right now. I mean that's hands down.
Yes.
I'm not saying his opinions are wrong. Don't get me wrong. CF Grizzly knows what the hell he's talking about. Again, I'm just reporting what I've seen. AJ, who actually did really well on Saturday. By the way, good job, AJ. He
Yeah, he
can
did.
back me up that BBX Weekly has also posted about this, and this is why AJ has been testing his shark scale on 170 low rush, because that when BBX Weekly makes his posts, he shows a Beyblade, the ratchets, and the bits, and then has a percentage of like how often they get used.
And that's
So
fair. Listen, I think analytics are incredibly important, Chad. And I'm not
yeah,
like discounting what
Wait,
you're saying.
how much it gets used or how much it wins?
how much it
Well,
wins.
that's also a good question.
That is, yeah.
What I will say, Chad, though, is at some point, you know, people might say, "Oh, CF Grizzly 450 Jolt, that sounds like asshole," right? But you got to
Oh,
remember, at
no.
some point, there were people saying that about the first guy to run Rod on 160 Hexa. They're like, "That's not the meta. You suck," you know.
Oh,
So
I'm not saying that about Grizzly at all. I'm saying if you're
no,
going to
no, and I'm
run
not saying
450 on something, then yeah, that might be it.
and I'm not saying you are, but what I'm saying is every new trend has resistance at the start.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, Wayward says,
Yeah.
what if Palm uses 170 low rush? In this case, he'd be wrong. Also, CF is getting love. I don't know about it being Watts' combo because I was playing 450 Jolt for a while, and I don't play in events, but like I've been using it in testing for a while. So I'm not saying I came up with it before either of them. But what I'm saying is I don't know that Watson's the originator of it either. You know what I'm saying? I think
Yeah.
certain people have been talking about it for a little while.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was gonna say 450 Jolts definitely sounds like a Baytuber Beyblade combo. That's like we're redefining the meta with this brand new Shark Scale combo.
And what I will tell Wayward, and this doesn't just apply to CF or Watson or 450 Jolt on Shark Scale, that's kind of how this stuff works. Usually someone develops something and then a top tier player takes that development and shows it off. And that does tend to be the guy who gets the credit a lot of the time, is the first person to be
Absolutely.
very successful with it, not necessarily the original innovator of the combo. And that's hard to pinpoint anyway, right? You know, who's
Yeah.
to say there wasn't someone in Reno, Nevada using Jolt from the second it came out on 450 Shark Scale, you know?
Little
Like,
Billy Batson running
And I
Shark
mean-
Scale 450 Jolt at his local free play events in Nevada.
The more of the given is that it's just an all purple combo.
yeah, I mean that's what
know?
I like about it. It's color coded. Like that's my
Color-coded.
favorite thing.
A lot of people like the
Like,
color
Listen,
schemes
the
because it
color
makes it better.
coding is the most important part because it gives Bays extra power.
Before Jolt came out, I ran Shark Scale 450 on level for that exact same reason.
Right.
Like
At some point we should do that, like a color coded event where it's like you can only use blue or you can only use red or you can only use green.
Martine,
oh boy.
if we do that, I know the first combo I'm bringing, and no one's going to like it because it's only legal at this event. And that's that's Silver Clock 950 Hexa.
Hmm.
It's
So-
color coded.
So
It's
someone
color coded.
set up in chat. So is one, I think he meant 150. Is 150
Yeah.
the only reason people want Buhamet?
I
Yes.
think it's the biggest reason. The second reason I'd say is people are interested to see how Ignition works because it's a very low, very wide attack bit that is definitely interestingly shaped.
Ignition
I
is
mean,
gonna be buns.
Just the
100%.
base itself.
Listen, I think the number one reason is 150, right? I think if you had to pick one reason, like over every other one, I think it's 150. But I think a new bit
Exactly.
helps.
Yep.
And honestly, the black and pink dragon, I mean, it looks dope. I mean, let's not pretend. It looks cool. And I think that's another reason people are excited. To be honest, all these new bays are kind of cool in their own way.
Yes.
And I'm pretty
Exactly.
excited for all of them. Now, I don't know if any of them are going to be meta shifting, but it doesn't have to be meta shifting to be fun. Not everyone lives and dies by
Exactly.
Wizard Rod 160 Hexa, Shark Scale, and Hover Wyvern. You know, other people like to play other things. Other people like to play for fun. I think these are going to be fun, new, exciting bays.
Yeah, you got that pink.
If anything, I was going to say the only new Beyblade that needs to be meta defining for Minnesota reasons is the Bison.
Oh, I think everyone wants the Bison to be good here. That'll be dope.
Oh, I think Bison.
We
yeah.
need that to be good.
But yeah, you got that pink and black for Blitz, or then you got the new color in the stadium that's the blue and green. So either way, you can get a good combination of your own personal choosing. But
Exactly.
yeah, that 150 is going to be pretty meta defining for sure.
Oh, yes. Again, AJ has done some testing already because I built him an illegal one. Or, well, it's illegal for now until 150 actually releases, and then it's not as illegal. But it works great on Wizard Rod because Shark Scale can no longer uppercut it. It works great on Cobalt Dragoon because it makes it short enough to, not get hit as hard by Shark Scale. It still gets hit hard, but the 150 actually did a decent job of holding on to the first mold of Elevate. So the next mold of Elevate will be real interesting. And even worse, 150 did extremely well on Shark.
All right. So besides Blitz, Blitz's release or any of the other CXs, anything else about this or any of that line?
I mean,
I'm
I
just
think
excited
just
for new Beyblades.
yeah, I think that's where everyone's kind of at.
Yep.
Cake. The one thing I'll say is, for anyone who doesn't know, the Amazon pre-orders for a lot of this new stuff are up on Amazon right now.
That's the
So if
next
you're
thing.
listening to this, you can. Well, then let's just transition to it, guys.
Okay, fantastic.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So, if you guys were not aware, Saturday, March 21st was National Beyblade Day, and we got some
International Beyblade Day.
Oh, international.
Well,
International.
and it was still
International.
Beyblade Day in Japan. Wasn't just here.
Yeah.
So it was Beyblade Day all over the world, and Amazon did us a pretty decent solid and give us pre-orders months early.
That's
So
true.
yeah, like a lot of months early. So if you guys want,
Rare Amazon W.
Yeah.
so you got that Meteor first, the Dragoon or Meteor Dragoon. It's called Meteoroid Dragoon.
Yeah, it's a weird name. I don't like that.
And second off, what I don't like about that is it comes with a string launcher.
Yeah, like the part of Meteor Dragoon that was like, oh my god, this is unique, this is cool, this is different, is we finally got a left winder that came with a Beyblade that people were excited about. Not a
Yes.
standalone one you had to pay $20 for. Like, it comes in the package with a left winder. And Hasbro had the chance to do this, to introduce the left winder to the rest of the West, the people who aren't importing a bunch of products. And once again, somehow they managed to shit the bed.
They're giving us a
Welcome to
red
Hasbro.
string launcher.
No one was asking for a red L string launcher. Not a single person was asking for that.
If
Akuna was probably.
Dude, I think Hasbro understands that like the string launcher is just the superior method of launching.
Ooh,
That is a wild
that-
statement to say.
Oof.
Look,
that's a
considering on
Chad hot
Saturday,
take right
look,
there.
that, yeah.
What if
No,
what
no,
if
no,
we
no,
had
I
a,
have-
what would happen if we had a tournament that was only string launchers, Chad? Every
Akuna
time
would win, but
you
that's
would
besides the
fizzle.
point.
It'd be
You
fun.
would fizzle, or you would pull the cord and you'd be like,
No, what I'm going to say, Martine, is it's funny you say that because someone had their string launcher break at my stadium on Saturday.
Oh. I
oh
mean,
great,
Yeah,
that could happen with
just
any
ripped
launcher,
the
though.
cord and then it didn't retract. So,
dude, that's crazy.
common string launcher L.
String launcher L. No, I don't
No.
know, dude. You'll hear me rip my string launcher and it'll sound like a lawnmower starting.
So
We got to stop leaving events early so I can actually
You're
hear
like-
that then.
oh,
Oh, damn.
Oh
Save
my
it for the stadium, guys.
Yeah, anyway, let's keep going on with Amazon. So if you guys wanted any of this, the Meteoroid Dragoon, it still comes on 370 Jolt, which is pretty good. But for $25,
Jolt is good.
Jolt is good. 370,
Just
decent.
just get the Japanese one for $28 on Bays and Bricks and get a real L launcher.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
With a better with a better cord and shit.
And that way, when you're getting someone a Beyblade, you're not giving them roid. No one wants Beyblade roids.
Anyway, speaking of roids, the next
Yeah, we
thing
don't do roids at Beyblade.
Yeah, the next roids is Pegasus Blast on that new launcher that we talked about many episodes ago. That weird folding
The
one.
clip and rip.
Yeah.
How could they take such a beautiful name and give it to one of the most disgusting cardboard box engineering Beyblade launchers I've ever seen?
Yeah, this
Listen, I'm not gonna lie. I did order one of these, just one. Okay, normally I order several, but I just wanted to walk around with that stupid ass launcher hanging off my belt, so I can be like, "Who's ready to clip it and rip it?"
No, see, if you do it for the meme, that's perfectly fine. But like, I can already tell people are going to 3D print stuff, or they're going to be putting like leather wrap around the actual grip to make it somewhat usable.
Yeah.
But
So
also, when it came to Metal Fight, we had something similar, but it was like an actual like you would clip it to your pants, and it would hold a Beyblade. And the way it would work is you'd press a button, and like a little trap door would open, and it would just gently like it would move forward while holding the Beyblade. It was it was straight from the anime, and it was dope as hell, and that's what they're trying to do here. But then they decided, but what if we make it a launcher as well? We could call it the Clip It and Rip It. And then
why does he have
all
the
the
southern
executives.
accent?
Yeah, why does he sound
that
like?
was Goofy.
Why does he sound?
That was Goofy.
Oh, that's
from
Goofy?
Disney. First of all,
Why does he? Yeah, why does he sound like a? Why does Goofy sound like a mental midget NASCAR fan? Like, like what is
because
going on
whoever
here?
designed this, that's exactly what I think. Whoever designed this was definitely on some moonshine when they designed it.
Yeah, they were on something.
So they were a mental midget, or they were a NASCAR fan?
Both.
Both. Okay.
Only here on the Spin Zone podcast.
Anyway,
Right.
so if you guys want to get the Clip and Rip Pegasus Blast on Pegasus Blast Turbo, which is amazing, $30 Amazon pre-order, and all this stuff will be available on release on July 15th. So it's
16th.
It says this item will be released on July 15th.
Oh, because I know why. Because you live in the cities and I live in St. Cloud, so it takes an extra day to get to me.
Yeah,
That's an
even
L.
with
That's a big
Prime.
L. Big
Oof.
L.
Oof.
Wait,
Anyway,
Vile, you don't have Prime?
it
Huh?
doesn't matter.
I do have
But-
Prime. Yeah.
But if you have Prime, then you could sub to us on Twitch.
I didn't think about that.
You didn't think about that, right?
Oh my god.
Well, I didn't have Prime for a long time, so that's actually
Anyway,
interesting.
speaking about
Okay, so-
Amazon,
Anyway.
Amazon Prime, now we got that new Sneak Attack battle set.
Ooh.
Yeah, if you guys haven't
Ooh.
heard or seen, this is a different style of stadium where you click this, click a little thing in the arena, and then eventually it'll come up and act as another attack.
So
It's
So,
So
what
instead of the
bays
cl-
are coming with this
to
set?
explain it a little bit better so
Yeah.
people understand what the
Good.
heck Cake is talking about. The way it works is if you know a Beyblade Stadium, you know it's mostly round except for the one end that actually juts out and launches the Beyblades. That area specifically can be pushed down, and so the Beyblades are spinning around in an actual perfect circle, and then randomly, whenever it decides to, it'll pop that up so the Beyblade will actually hit the rail and launch into the center. And all I've got to say to that is, I'm going to pull a Martine and say, you can just go ahead and skip this one.
Okay, so what you're telling me is not only do we have the Clip It and Rip It launcher, now we have the Click It and Rip It stadium.
God.
I'm not wrong.
No, you're
Dude,
not.
I think my homework's burning. I got to go.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god.
So yeah, listen, the stadium, I think Chad's right. The stadium seems totally skippable. I don't care about the stadium. These Hasbro stadiums are just never good. They're always bad.
It's not
And-
even that. Like,
and these bays
let's
are not good
really
either.
think about it.
Oh,
There's
that's
that
not
too,
true.
but
Huh?
Here's the biggest thing that no one's talking about.
What?
Stadiums break quite frequently already, and now you're adding more parts to break in there. That's so dumb. You can't even build a proper TT stadium that doesn't break. And now we're coming out with a stadium with like moving parts that are probably held together by like little plastic pieces that the second a shark scale hits them just breaks the whole setup. Like, come on, man.
I mean, it comes
Yeah,
on
give us
the
a reinforced stadium before you give us this.
so the bays that it comes with is called Cutter Shinobi, and it comes on low flat. So it's one of those bays with the
Ooh.
Yeah.
ratchets already attached to it. And then
Yep.
Interesting.
Rampart
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 Aegis.
Aegis.
thank you, holy, and on Gear Ball.
On
So, listen, I'm not-
Heck
Gearball.
yeah.
I'm not excited about the gear ball, but I promise you guys, okay, Rampart Aegis is going to be the truth. All right, it's going to be like the next LeBron James of Beyblades. All right, this thing,
LeBron James.
All right, dude. All right,
it's going to be
Wait.
like it's going to be like a scorpion or a mummy curse. I feel like that's actually an S tier.
Interesting.
Let me get this straight. The Beyblade that is perfectly round and doesn't have a ratchet that can fall off is going to be a broken Beyblade? What?
I don't know. Cake seems to think it's
No,
going to be the
it's not-
worst Beyblade on the planet.
No,
It's
Cutter
not gonna
Shinobi
be
No,
is.
broken,
I-
it's gonna be
No,
as
Cutter
good as
Shinobi
LeBron
sucks,
James,
but
bro.
no. Here's the thing. If anyone remembers, these UX Beyblades have the same attachment, or they're supposed to attach the same way a simple ratchet would attach to a bit, which means Orb Aegis already, as long as it's got decent weight, is going to be quite the powerhouse. But then you're telling me it's going to be able to use free ball, and not only use free ball, but simple ratchets and free ball are like chef's kiss when it comes to like anything that hits a Beyblade that's on a simple ratchet with free ball, that Beyblade is just gonna keep spinning. So, yeah, no, this
Also,
is the Beyblade y'all should be worried about.
Do we know if those?
Nah.
Do we know if the balls in Rampart Aegis move around like they do in Nightmail?
They might.
Probably not. Probably not.
They have different colored balls though. Like if you look at the close-up Cake,
Yeah.
Well, so does Nightmail, but Nightmail's still.
That's
I'm
a
gonna-
crazier take than my take on Rock
I'm
Golem.
just saying.
I'm gonna
just
say
saying,
no,
dude, if we're
Vile.
like comparing Beyblades to basketball players. Like we already have Wizard Rod that is Michael Jordan, and we already have Shark Scale that's like Steph Curry. All right, and then we have Mummy Curse that is like SJ. Like this new Beyblade is not LeBron level. I'm gonna tell you right now.
So wait, does that mean I get to call Rock Golem Shaquille O'Neal because it's great at dunking, but it has a hard time with any
Rock
three
Golem
pointers?
is Shaquille O'Neal. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Oh my
Okay,
god,
then-
we're not
then-
doing this shit.
oh yeah, yes we are. Then Rampart Aegis is Kobe Bryant. There we go. Rest in peace, Kobe.
Rest in peace, Kobe. Yep.
R.I.P. Black Mamba. But to answer your question, Val, I'm gonna say no because if you look at one of the
There's nothing holding them in. I see what you're saying. They could just fly out if they were actually loose in there.
Yeah.
That's fair. Either way, this is the Beyblade that, besides Bison, I think is actually going to have some sort of relevance in the meta.
Out of all the Hasbro pre-orders, that is the one I am most excited about.
Oh, with Cutter Shinobi, it's like a samurai saber.
I never said I was excited for that.
No,
I never said I was excited for that.
No, looking more into it.
No, Cake
know-
Cake has just realized that Cutter has the same function as Saber in that it's got little prongs that jut out.
Yeah, but it's still not going to be good.
It's got a little prick.
It does. Yeah. Someone set up in TikTok. It said it only pops up once and it doesn't go back down until manually pushed back down, which is very true. But you can probably only.
That's going to be a hassle. That's going to be a hassle.
Yeah,
it's going to break. That's what's going to happen. It's going to break.
Yeah, because it's all just straight, cheap plastic underneath, and probably nothing really reinforcing it and everything. It's not going to be good. Like they need to stop with all the gimmick stadiums and give us more TTs.
Yeah,
Well-
how
well,
about a
here's the
Hasbro
thing,
release
I don't.
of the TT Stadium at Target and Walmart? How about that? Like that'd
That
be
would
great.
be huge.
Yeah, I'm of the same thing, but the other thing
Dude,
that
then
I'm
we
thinking
could
of is
unban
too
Metal
is
Needle.
shut up. No, he no, but seriously, my thought process behind this is like Hasbro. I'm okay with you making like gimmick stadiums. That's what you do. You've always been you're the go-to kings of gimmicks. But the problem is we need stadiums that can survive an actual battle first.
Yeah,
Give us some stadiums that don't like AJ's stadium. That poor thing was left in the car and now like parts of the plastic are absolutely warped.
oh god.
That sounds terrible.
That's awful. I mean, thankfully it's the shroud, but still, it's like,
Yeah.
you know where you put the black pins on the stadium that has the extreme zone on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't even go in
Yeah,
no more.
though that part of the plastic is like completely like wrinkled and warped.
Oh Jesus.
And it's like, I mean, it doesn't affect the actual battle because it's just the shroud, but at the same time, it's like, man, TT, y'all need to make stadiums that don't feel like they were 3D printed by someone who
So-
just got a 3D printer for Christmas.
A couple of things. Welcome, Con. Con just shows up and says, "How late am I?" About an hour and a half
very.
late, Con.
Yep.
Very late.
And
I'll
then
see you after class.
Egg says we can have a tournament where Metal Needle is allowed using my drop attack stadiums, because that's about all drop attack stadiums are good for.
Honestly, we could
You know
probably
what?
make that happen.
Fair
I have 2
enough.
of them.
I will have. I have one sitting at my house too. I will happily donate it to the Metal Needle tournament.
So
Anyway.
what?
I have one like at my friend's house that I told him, here, you just have this, dude. I don't even need this.
So if you guys did want that sneak attack stadium, $55 for pre-order, which is
I don't know. Why
No.
would you?
I can't wait for it to be at Target and Walmart for $25.
Why wouldn't you just
Yeah.
buy another drop attack stadium with hover and impact for that same
Because
price?
true.
I want Rampart Aegis.
Yeah, Rampart Aegis is
Also-
going to be good.
Also, to be fair though, Martine's got a point. You could buy 2 drop attack stadiums right now for the price of this one.
Yeah.
Damn close to it.
So I
Yeah.
understand what Martine's saying.
All right.
So
The next-
Strike
next-
Duran.
Yep,
That-
Strike Duran on 450 free flat. This one is going to be $13 pre-order.
Oh no.
This is another one, guys. To all the people out there who are a little budget conscious, this is going to be out.
That's the one to look at.
This is going to be mid-July in Hasbro for $13. It's not going to get here in America until mid-June from TT for almost $30. This is like
Yeah.
100% one. No one should be buying the TT version of this. They just need to wait 30 days and buy it for less than half the price.
If you
Yeah.
want this, pre-order it, or it'll be double the price.
Yeah.
Also, what are our thoughts on free flat? Because we already know free ball is actually a really good bit, but now turn that same gimmick onto a flat bit.
I think it's going to be pretty decent.
I'm saying this could be like a low S, high A tier bit.
Interesting.
I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I feel like all the flat bits are kind of falling flat.
Oh, damn.
Someone said up in chat, the drop attack launched at $50.
That was me that said that. I was responding to Egg.
Oh, that's you? Oh, hey, looky there.
Yeah, because Egg had said $55 for the sneak attack. I hate this timeline. And I'm like, yeah, but we got to remember, before all the tariffs and stuff happened,
Yep.
the drop
That was
attack
cheaper.
launched at 50. We have to remember
Yeah.
that. It wasn't that much difference. Like, it just has gotten cheaper since then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think free flat's gonna be pretty decent. 450. That's gonna
Is
be
450.
450 is 450. So it's gonna be pretty good still, but free flat is just another new bit. And Strike Duran probably not gonna be any sort of meta related whatsoever. So
I doubt it.
$13.
Probably not.
more than likely no. But for $13 for a decent ratchet and a new bit, go off of your own wallet at that point. But
Worst comes to worst, at least the top part is metal. So when someone, like, what we'll be talking about here soon. So when someone launches their Beyblade directly onto it, they're not breaking the plastic on top.
Yeah, it has a new bit, whether it's good or not, it is a new bit. And that blue and white 450 is pretty nice looking. I like having a
Yeah.
different option than just purple. So I think for $13, this is probably fine for most players.
Yeah.
I'd probably get it just for
Yeah.
the 450 and the free flat, just to test it out. Because again, some people like to shit on the flat bits, but like depending on the Beyblade, they can use them pretty well. I mean, underflat has been pretty good on some Beyblades, so
That's true.
All right, yeah,
Now,
moving.
what about this? What about this red hexa cake?
Red Hexa on Rocket Griffin for $13. Also releases on July 15th.
please.
This is getting scalped.
Yeah, I don't care about the
Too
Griffin
under
so
right
much.
now.
I just want the red hexa. Like, that's my favorite part of this.
Yeah. Yeah, we basically kind of already touched on him earlier in this episode, so I think we can kind of just actually these last ones we can probably just kind of skim over.
This is another one, guys. I said it earlier. Do not buy it for 3 times the price and get it a month or two early. It's not worth it. Just wait till the Hasbro release. Like,
Yeah.
be smart with your money.
Exactly.
Yeah, same thing with the Ragna on 455 yielding is. I don't know how I feel about
That
the bit.
yielding bit looks interesting.
It does. It looks.
Yeah, that bit looks wild.
Yeah. And then
Also, how about no more simple ratchets? That'd be great. Let's take a break. I feel like we're getting inundated with simple ratchets constantly.
yeah, we got so.
Well, it's
many
not
of them.
only that, but like we've gotten a whole line of Beyblades that like have the simple ratchets integrated into them, but still have the same burst bit area, or the bits have the same burst ability as a simple ratchet. Just do that. Just do that. I don't need no more simple ratchets. The only thing those are gonna eventually end up doing is being melted into filament for someone's 3D printer.
But the last thing is Fortress Knight on 870 under needle. Another $13
good.
one that comes out July 15th. Nothing.
Is 870? Is that the first 8-sided ratchet?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Yep.
That's why I said I hope it's good.
I'm gonna be curious. It is a 70 height, so it's like, but I'm curious to see how an 8-sided ratchet works.
Actually, someone
Hey,
set
listen,
up an.
no matter what, Danny, I could always illegally turn it into an 850 for you.
Right. Real quick to address Wayward, Bahamut Blitz will obviously come to Hasbro eventually, but not in this wave. Not unless they're gonna drop it later. They have these other two CX Infinities, but not Bahamut Blitz yet on Hasbro.
Who knows? It might take a year.
No.
Hopefully not. Hopefully they're getting better. They are getting better. Like, they really are.
Yeah, 6 to 8 months.
Not even. I mean, they're getting, like, we're getting the Griffin within what, like 2 months?
Right now, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but like,
I mean,
let's be real. How long did it take for Hasbro to release Shark Scale?
Not that long.
not as long as Phoenix Rudder and all that kind of stuff. Phoenix Rudder and Phoenix
Exactly.
Feather were way too long. These newer ones, they are doing a better job. Like, I'm not saying it's perfect. Like, for instance, we still don't know when Tricera Press is coming here, but pretty much everything else we do. We've seen Scorpio Spears coming this summer. We've seen Mummy Curses coming this summer. All these new ones are coming pretty quick. Like, they're doing I'm not saying it's perfect, but it is a much better job than they were doing this time last year.
Yeah.
Martine, you look like you're ready to go and watch a scary movie right now.
Nah, but where's my Power Ranger Beyblade at?
We
I
got
don't
that.
know.
We got
your
anime.
camera keeps blurring it.
Yeah, I can see. He's got a Power Rangers blanket. I can see it.
Oh,
there
does
it
he?
is.
Oh. Well, chat can't. So, Other than that, those are the only releases that we got on Beyblade Day. So pre-orders are still up and going for all of these bays. So just go check those out up on Amazon. Add them to your cart, pre-order any and all of them that you would like to get.
Absolutely.
Anything else up on these pre-orders or ready to move on to the next one?
I'm ready to move on.
What is the next one? What is the next thing we're talking
So
about?
the next thing is probably something that I'm most excited about. It's actually Baycon.
Oh, I know. Oh, see, I now you tricked me, Cake. You
Oh.
tricked me.
Oh,
I thought you were gonna say, that you were most excited about Beyblade X coming to Fortnite because you're always playing Fortnite all the time.
no, that will be the last thing to talk about.
Oh, okay.
No, I just put it in just put it all in order. No,
Okay, fair enough.
No
That
reasoning
works.
behind everything. But yeah, Baycon, I'm actually pretty excited about. It was a big event that happened last year down in San Antonio, Texas. And I think this happened back in August, if I'm not mistaken, or September.
Yeah, that's a choice.
Yeah, and this year there's
By
actually
that I mean if I'm going to go down to Texas, August is probably not the time I'm trying to go to Texas.
fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's actually it is a 3-weekend convention going to be happening in early August. So, like Vile said,
Wait, three weekend?
3-day weekend.
Oh, okay. You said 3 weekend. I'm like, what are you talking about? That's wild.
Dyslexia. So 3-day weekend convention. So I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. I will personally try to go to this. So there are some state qualifiers to be able to go to this event. A lot of them are going to be in Texas. So
yeah, they get about 8 qualifiers in Texas, and all of the rest of us peons only get 1 per state.
Yeah, 7. Yep, they got
Not
7 qualifiers, which is going to be. They're all in Texas right now, but then there's also one in New York, which is date to be determined. Idaho, which will be happening in June, which very close to the event. Alabama to be determined. Florida to be determined. Philly will be happening in June. LA will be happening sometime in early summer, and Oregon will be happening in May 16th. So that one is an official day.
What about Minnesota?
Oh, I'm getting there, sir. I'm getting there.
Okay, I just want to make sure because that's the only one that most of us care about.
Yeah, I think it's still to be determined.
As of right now, it is to be determined, but there's also Illinois and Chicago to be determined. Virginia and Richmond will be happening May 30th. Oklahoma will be happening sometime in June. Michigan will be on May 17th, so a month after their big tournament. North Carolina will be sometime in late spring. Utah, out of all states, will be happening one in June 20th. And then us here in Minnesota will be TBD.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know that Mormons allowed Beyblades in the great state of Utah. I wasn't aware of that.
But we actually just got word from Wayward. He said up in chat, I will be holding a qualifier for this at the mall. Interesting.
Let's go.
Well, yeah, we kind of knew that. You said there was going to be a Minnesota qualifier, so we knew that was going to happen.
Yes, but
we just don't know when yet.
Yeah, didn't know when, didn't know where, didn't know any of the information. According to this, it's just said TBD. So, little
I mean, he had told me a week back maybe that he was going to be doing it. But I don't know when he's going to do it yet. I would guess next month, but I could be wrong. Maybe this month. Who knows?
Yeah. So
by this month, I mean April.
Yeah. Wayward, if you would like to explain more, go ahead. If not, then we will stay tuned for all of that information later on. But and I guess there are going to be more states to come through for qualifiers. So if you're not any of those like 10 or so states that we did mention, kind of stay tuned for Baycon qualifiers, which I think is going to be a great 3-day event. It's going to be so much fun. So if you guys can make it out to what?
Oh, I am supposed to let people know that when we say Wayward will be hosting one at the mall, what he means specifically is it will be at the Maplewood Mall. And thank you to management for letting us use the space free of charge. That's what they meant to say.
Hey,
Can we get a round of applause for the Maplewood Mall?
absolutely. So it is DBD as of right now. So stay tuned for that. All the Minnesota people or nearby states of Minnesota, if you guys would like to join the qualifier for Baycon.
Bro, they're not gonna be able to get in. It's gonna be a 32-player cap. There's not gonna be any space for out of state registrations.
First come, first serve. Sign up for that.
First come, first serve.
Yeah.
You better be on at that.
Oh yeah,
better.
So if you
I would 100% give Minnesotans like a 3-day head start sign up period if I was running that. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you guys did want to host a state qualifier or content creator or media or even just a table to vend, there's Beyblade Award SOO@gmail.com. Send that email, get all those qualifications or anything else that you need. Anything else about Baycon? Pretty much short and sweet. We don't have much information on that. I plan on, if I can get it off, I do plan on going. Just get a
Martine plans to not go. Martine has been very clear
I'll plan to go 4-0 and then drop.
Oh, like you did this past weekend?
100%.
Hey, save it for the arena, okay?
Save it for the stadium. All right.
There you go.
So probably one of the biggest things news-wise that came out of this past week was Beyblades are coming to Fortnite.
So that's pretty cool. My question is we also heard that Beyblade is having a Roblox World Championship event from May 15th to 25th. Which game is more popular, Fortnite or Roblox?
Ooh.
Because they're both crazy popular with like 10-year-olds, right?
Ooh.
I can answer that
Go ahead, Chad.
Do I say the real answer? Do I say the real answer here? Because the real answer
I mean,
Fortnite
the
is
real
more
answer...
popular. Oh, no. See.
No, you don't
Fortnite
understand.
is more popular with general gamers, and Roblox is popular with people who ended up on a certain list.
I was going to say, I feel like one of these games is significantly more popular on Epstein Island. That's what I was going to say.
See, I wasn't even going to say the name.
One of these things is not like the other.
Listen.
Yeah, so I mean, both these games are huge. It's going to be, listen, I don't care about either of these games. You wouldn't catch me dead playing either of them, but they're both incredibly popular. And I do think that it's going to help garner more attention for the Beyblade X scene.
All right. True. Vile, I'm going to diagnose you to Unk because you haven't played Roblox or Fortnite. As someone that grew up on both of these games, hot take, Roblox, I would rather have my kid on Roblox than my kid on Fortnite.
Oh, geez.
Interesting. Well, and also, I don't know.
Have you guys been on Fortnite?
Yes.
Yes. I used to go on there and I would play the only mode in Fortnite that mattered to me, which was prop hunt.
I love prop hunt.
Oh my God. Egg just said they probably have a Roblox server on Epstein Island itself.
Oh my God.
You know,
boy.
I mean, they
probably not wrong.
They had its own Pokestop.
He did have gaming accounts, and he did have a Roblox account, unironically.
Interesting.
I'm sure that he did.
But anyway,
so yeah, I think all of this is great for Beyblade. I think it's great attention.
Oh yeah.
I think people are excited about it. I think it's gonna be cool. I'm not gonna do either event, but I think it's gonna be good for our scene.
Yeah, my question is for
at
Fortnite.
the end of the day, go ahead.
Yeah, my question for for the whole Fortnite thing is, what characters are they going to be? Because that's probably all it's going to be, or probably just skins with battle axes and back blings and maybe an emote.
Well, if it
So-
was Roblox, I could tell you which characters it would be. It'd be the underage ones.
Oh my god!
For
Which is all
Fortnite,
of
I
them.
couldn't tell you.
Basically all. Oh my god!
No, there's some adults in the show.
Not many.
Not the
I mean,
protagonists. None of the
See,
protagonists.
Not
Ye-
Robin.
The
Yeah,
question
I mean-
I thought you were gonna ask, Mister Cake Eater. I thought you were gonna ask the real important question, which is: are we just getting characters in Fortnite, or are we getting a whole new game mode of Fortnite, which will allow people to actually play Beyblades against each other in Fortnite servers?
Well, probably
Well, I think
that
in
would be
Roblox
kinda
they are
cool.
going to be able to. In Roblox, I think you
Yeah.
are going to be able to play Beyblade.
yeah.
Well,
Literally,
yeah, but
if you
this
look at
is Fortnite. Fortnite has made new game modes for like popular
Oh,
stuff.
sure,
like,
sure. I understand.
Like
Yeah.
this is their chance to make like a little Beyblade game mode that would allows you to control your Beyblade and like do like special moves and stuff like that. I'd love to see that, even if I don't play Fortnite. Like that's just a cool idea in general.
yeah, just this flyer for Roblox itself actually looks pretty decent.
I
Yeah.
don't know. Maybe they'll put like Beyblades in Fortnite and they won't make a game mode separate because it's not like big like Lego or something like that, right? But then maybe they'll make like Beyblades just like a boomerang weapon.
Ooh.
Listen, I just want a game mode that mimics how wars were fought in Metal Fight, which is just armies ripping Beyblades at each other.
Okay.
Fantastic. I hope so.
So now that we've touched on the video game stuff, Cake, I did have a special announcement for one of my good friends that I promised him I would make this week because I forgot last week. Can I do that real quick?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because we are done talking about everything basically that just got released. So, Vile, the floor is all yours, sir.
All right. So, guys, as many of you know, on Wednesday night we have free play at Kraken Hits. In the last couple
Yep.
of weeks, we've had the Papa D $30 invitational. Okay. And for anyone who doesn't know, what that is Papa D takes $30 of his own money and puts it on the line in a single elimination tournament and then tells you, don't let me win my fucking money back. And yeah, it's actually a lot of fun. We have kind of agreed to outlaw the S tier Beyblades. So we do get to see some more interesting stuff like Scorpion and Nightmail and a few of the other ones that people don't play quite as much. So that's been pretty cool. And I did tell Papa D I would shout that out, that's something he's been doing consistently week over week at Kraken. So if people want to stop by, do some free playing and do a quick little single elimination tournament and have the chance to win $30, stop on by Kraken Hits Wednesday night starting at about 6 p.m.
Well, there
Yeah.
you go, Martine. Now you have to show up on Wednesdays. It's a free event like you've wanted, and you can still earn money from it. Wow.
So we're just kind of going off of
Shut
on
his
that.
camera off.
There-
Martine said 30 ain't enough for him.
There is no set time for that. So if you guys did want to show up to that, you just gotta kind of show up between 6 and midnight, basically.
I mean, I would say be there by 7 if you want to
to
participate in that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I've done it the last couple times. Vile's done it the last couple times. Vile actually won it last week.
I did because you fell in my path, Cake.
I did. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Surprise face.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's really different, but at the end of the day, it's a lot of fun. So, guys, come over to Kraken Hits Wednesdays, every Wednesday, Friendly, Minnesota, starting at about 6 p.m. CST. So, speaking of tournaments and everything, Vile, if you'd like to,
I was
kinda-
just about to say, speaking of Kraken,
yeah,
we
so
want to talk about
talk
Kraken
about,
Hits.
talk about a couple
and
tournaments
how
that we got
Saturday
going
went.
on.
Oh, Chad wants to talk some shit.
Yeah,
I have some grievances about how things went on Saturday. It went great for the most part, but I do have to air some things out here, if that's okay, Cake.
be courteous, but yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I'll be courteous. Don't worry.
Okay,
Um,
go ahead, Chad.
so the first thing that I want to say is I was super happy to see everyone that came out, and a huge round of applause to everyone that managed to come out to the tournament and take part in it, have fun. Um, and also thanks to one of our Beybladers for like doing a cookout from the back of his truck. That was pretty cool, and he didn't even ask money for that, which was an absolute baller move to just be cooking bratwurst on the grill for some people.
Bro, and he had beverages too. I mean, it wasn't just bratwurst. I mean, Grizzly was balling out of control, dude. Like, props to him on that.
Yeah, it was a
Absolutely.
good time.
Obviously, the first thing I'll get into is it was mentioned in the judges chat about this already, but some of our judges made some mistakes, which is fine. It's just something we got to work on. Me personally, I know I made a wrong call during one of mine, so I'd like to give an apology to Joe Starblader. Um, During your match when the Beyblade went out the side of the arena, I scored it 2 points because that was the old ruling. I found out that ruling got outdated. My bad, man. You shouldn't have. Your opponent shouldn't have gotten those 2 points. That is totally my bad on that. You still ended up winning and doing like really well overall, but yeah, that's totally my bad. Speaking of people being bad, ladies, gentlemen, and everyone else, when your host tells you to not crowd the arenas, that means the whole time. That doesn't mean don't crowd around the arenas for like the first 2 minutes and then start crowding the arenas for the next 5 hours. Come on now. We've talked about this before. Like, it's okay to get to watch and give people space. It's another thing to be right up next to the stadium trying to buy something from Danny or plain egg salad or just wandering through while people are trying to Beyblade. And I have a problem with this specifically because during one of my rounds, I legit had to stop counting 10 goddamn times because people were walking around while my bladers were trying to launch, and I almost lost it. And I was just, if one more person would have walked past, I would have yelled, "Hey, sit down, quit getting in people's ways, people, come on." Like,
And that's important,
Ooh.
guys. You gotta watch where you're going when you're wandering through the stadiums. Whether you're making your way to the match, whether you're trying to go to the bathroom, trying to go to the vending table, trying to go outside, wherever it is you're trying to go, you need to understand that people who are playing their matches have priority over you. You need to let them
Exactly.
launch and then walk behind them, not when they're launching, not when the judge is counting. It's very simple. And the other thing is, guys, is this is very important. It does not need to be me that says something. When I tell people to watch themselves around the stadiums, or I tell people to quit running around in the retail area of Kraken, it could be me saying it. It could be Joe, the manager of Kraken, saying it. It could be any of my judges saying it. It could be really any respected member of the community seeing you do something wrong and being like, "Hey, please stop that." And you should respond to them just the same as if I was saying it. Okay, you have
Yes,
to be
exactly.
respectful.
Yeah, just realize where you
And
guys are at. Just
yeah, because I had a couple people tell me that like we had a couple people get elbowed because they were trying to walk somewhere and they were walking right behind a blader who was just about to rip their hardest launch of the match. And the last thing we want is you guys to get injured. We say give people space because imagine if like a kid is walking behind Danny as he's about to rip his nightmail. That kid's head is gone the second his elbow meets contact with that kid.
I mean,
That
No, I mean,
that
I
kid
might
is
I
going
might
to the
knock that kid
hospital.
out. I might knock that kid out, like legit.
yeah, and
And we
then
don't want that.
then
We don't want
Vile's in.
anyone getting hurt.
Yeah, then Vile
We
would
don't
be in
want
the
anyone
wrong.
getting hurt.
Yeah.
Well, well, some people might see it that way. My thing is y'all, if someone hits you when they're ripping, that's your fault, in my opinion, because we have told you to watch where you're going. You need to give.
Mhm.
It's like the right of way. The people who are playing
Right.
their tournament matches have the right of way. You need to
Exactly.
yield.
Yeah.
And that kind
Yeah.
of leads on to the other thing that has to be mentioned, which is people. We love you bringing your kids to tournaments. We don't have any problems with that. But for the love of everything that is metal in Beyblade, keep an eye on them. Don't let them wander around and start messing with other parts of the store or getting under Joe's skin, who's like literally just there to try to keep things under control on his side of things and sell stuff. We don't need kids running around with like toilet paper stuck to their shoes, running and screaming about how they're the greatest Fortnite player and how they're 6'7" Sigma or whatever the hell they're gonna do. Keep an eye on them. And
Yep.
also, ladies and gentlemen and everyone else, this is not a daycare. Do
Thank
not
you.
leave your children here unattended. My gosh.
Yeah, no shit.
Please
Step up
supervise your
and
kids.
if you're not going to be able to watch your children, have a designated person to keep an eye on them. Do not just drop them off and go, have fun. Oh, thank God they're out of our hair. Let's go drink as much wine as we can before we have to deal with this little asshole again. Don't do that.
Well,
Do
that's
not
almost
do
what
that.
that's almost what I felt like, is that some parents have started seeing this as a real cheap daycare for the night.
Exactly.
And,
And
they'll
it's
drop
not.
their kid and go on a date and leave their kid unsupervised. Guys, I don't
No.
care I don't care if it's a parent, a guardian, an older brother. Someone there needs to be responsible for every child that's there. There needs to be some adult that is responsible for them.
I'd
And
even go as far as to say whoever you leave the child in the care of has to have some level of maturity. Like it can't be their older brother who's older by like a couple years.
well, yeah, I
'Cause
don't want
they're
I don't want
gonna
a
still act the
14-year-old.
same.
Yeah, I don't want a 14-year-old watching 3 12-year-olds. That's not great, right?
No, not
But
gonna happen.
Exactly.
listen, if someone brings their kid and maybe they know Chad from outside of Beyblade and they say, "Hey Chad, I really want to go have a nice dinner with my wife. Would you mind keeping an eye on my kid for a few hours since you're going to be here anyway?" If Chad says yes, that's fine. Chad's the responsible party. He will handle it. It doesn't have to be a parent.
Exactly.
It just needs to be an adult who has chosen to take responsibility
Yeah.
for the child in that space. So when the child is misbehaving and they're playing tag in the retail section of the store or whatever, that there is somebody that me or Joe or another judge or whoever can go to and say, "Hey, the kid's kind of out of control. Can you go rein them in?" You know?
Exactly. And by the way, that was not facetious. We had kids running around playing tag in the retail section. Like
Yes.
we can't be doing
Yeah.
that. A great example of how this should work. I don't remember their names, but it was a family who was like
It
newer to the Beyblade
it
scene.
doesn't matter what their names are. Just keep it all.
Yeah. No. I'm giving a good example of
Right.
like
Right.
we had some parents who brought their children to this was their like first Beyblade scene. I've never seen these kids before. Not only were the kids some of the most well-behaved kids ever, but like when things started to get a little too overstimulating for them, the parents were right there holding the child, put a blanket or put a coat over his head so, like the lights wouldn't be too much for them and
Mhm.
were just stuck with them the whole time. And if they started to wander off, they'd immediately be like, hey, you need to stay by me. That's called parenting, people, and some of you need a book about it, apparently.
Yeah, and Egg said up in chat, I don't want to be responsible for a kid because uh, the parents get abducted and left the child at the event.
Yeah, like,
Right.
No, I mean,
you have no. I mean,
Right.
at the
Or
end of the day, we know who's responsible in the Beyblade community, but at the same time, there are people who go here that we don't know. There
That
are
we
some
don't
people
yeah.
know.
who this is their first time there. You're gonna leave your children with strangers? The fuck is wrong with you?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line. I don't want to be responsible for someone's kid getting abducted from Beyblade because their parent ran off somewhere. Okay,
or the
that's number
child just
one.
or the
Exactly.
child
Number
just
two,
runs away or
Yeah.
Yeah,
And we're
something
not
weird.
here
exactly.
to like teach you how to parent your
What
kid. Just make sure you're watching your kid.
yeah. What happens when the kid runs into the parking lot because it's starting to get nice out and they get hit
When
by
he
a
gets hit
car?
by a car. Yeah.
Or even
Yeah,
worse,
and then I
because Kraken is right by like a very busy highway or freeway.
yeah. So it's like, and I don't have the parents' contact information. If their kid gets hit in the parking lot, I don't have anyone to call. And the other thing is, what happens if something happens to the parents? The parents drop their kid off, they get in a car accident or something on their way back to pick their kid up. All of a sudden, there's this kid sitting there. We have no fucking idea what to do with them. That's not good.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah. So, long story short, don't drop your kids off like it's an old McDonald's back in the 90s. Give them a couple fries and a couple nuggets, and hey, Go have fun.
Yeah, bro.
So
At the end of the day, what we're asking is people just be more responsible with yourselves, your property, your children, with anything that is yours. Just
Yeah.
be responsible.
true.
Do the right thing, make the right judgment calls. Like, I mean, plain egg salad can probably attest to this. There were a couple of times where, like, we had little ones walking around looking at his stuff. Meanwhile, me and Cake are right there trying to judge matches, and the kids are getting in the way. Like, no, sit down, sit on your hands, and just sit there for a while until you're called up for your match. Like, it's not that hard, guys. It should not be that hard. And if it is that hard, maybe that says more about you than it does about your child. I'm just gonna keep it a buck with you.
All right.
Yeah.
Yep. So gonna
It's time to
put in a-
wrap it up, isn't
yeah,
it?
yeah, putting a fork in that
Yep.
convo. Like, I mean, it's true.
That's all I had to say. Is let's be responsible, Bladers.
Yeah. Be responsible. Be aware. Be courteous of where you're at. Watch your kids, because I can probably agree that this rule will definitely be implemented probably now on at any tournament whatsoever.
Yeah, because imagine what would happen if something bad happens and we loot, and Joe has to say, "Well, I'm sorry, I can't continue hosting Beyblade tournaments anymore because you keep having unruly kids." Like,
Or worse.
where are we gonna be holding tournaments after that?
At Chad's house.
Well, speaking of tournaments,
Please,
Vile, what kind of
Wait, we
tournaments?
can go to Chad's house?
I
Party
do
at
not
Ch-
have the space.
Party at Chad's house. All right, speaking
I
of
have a
tournaments,
space for like 4
Kraken
people.
doesn't have the space either, bro. It doesn't matter.
all
We'll
right,
show up.
Damn.
all right,
We'll
guys,
show
all right.
up.
Mm.
All right, Vile, what do we got for tournaments,
yes.
buddy?
So, Wayward's gonna have an event April 25th at the Maplewood Mall.
Let's
Doors
go.
noon, start time 1 p.m. 32 player cap. Ranked, I believe, but I could be wrong. But I think ranked, but maybe limited. You'll have to wait and see. I'm sure Wayward will have more information on that up very shortly. I have an event the week before that, April 18th. And that's going to be at Kraken. Doors at 4, start time at 5, 64 player cap. Probably ranked, but it could also be a Masters test event. We're going to see, but I might run that and see how it goes.
Might as well.
And then we also have, I believe, a medal fight tournament on April 5th. Is that correct, Chad?
Yep.
At the Minneapolis Library. I want to say the start time's 1 p.m. Am I screwed up on that?
Yes, you are. So doors
You are.
open at 12:30, and
Isn't
the
that
event
12?
starts. And the event starts at 12:45.
Oh God, that's a tight window. I guess yeah. I think the cap's
It's
20
medal
though, right?
fight.
So
Yeah, the cap is
Yeah.
and the
20,
cap
and
is 20 people.
as of right now, there's
Kuna's just
only
gonna win it.
only 12 people are signed up, and max people are 20.
Okay, so still 8 more
I'll have to
slots. You want to play some
remember
medal
to-
fight?
I'll talk to AJ and see if he wants to go check out what spawned Beyblade X.
Oh my God. So that could be cool. I believe that's hosted by Holly and possibly Six. Don't quote me on the second part, but I know for sure Holly's going to be there.
Yep.
Oh, and then
yeah.
Cake, I will let you handle the event on the 11th since you are the most excited for it.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
So April 11th, starting at 5 p.m. Doors will be opening at 4:30. This is the event, the reversal tournament. So you basically make the worst deck possible. You give that deck to your opponent. Your opponent makes the worst deck. They give that deck to you. Then you still fight, just like normal tournaments. What, Chad?
I was gonna say, I just realized, why was this not held on April 1st? That would have been perfect.
Because April 1st is a Wednesday.
Isn't April 1st when we can have a free play event
On a Wednesday.
There you go,
on a
Martine.
Wednesday?
Free play.
And it's
Free
April
play.
Fool's, so the reversal makes even more sense.
Dude,
Yep. So
it didn't line up, Chad. It didn't line up.
all right, guys. So $10 entry for that. 48 cap for that. It should be a really fun event. I plan on going over to that if I can make it out of work. But make a bad deck, give it to your opponent. Your opponent makes a bad deck, give it to you. Then same tournament rules do apply. Anything
if
else?
nothing else, the perfect tournament for simple ratchets.
Yeah, simple ratchets and other bad bits. But
Or everyone can bring a wizard rod, a shark scale, and a hover wyvern.
Can we mute this guy?
oh wow. But
If we
besides,
all gentlemen's agreement, everyone bring a wizard rod. Everyone.
Just for that, I'm making sure your deck has Clock 9, 65, and Quake,
I mean,
which was a
that'll work.
combo I actually saw at the tournament, and it managed to KO Wizard Rod into the extreme
technically
zone.
speaking, if you bring a wizard rod and a shark scale and you're giving it to your opponent, you should be losing.
That's not how that works. Anyways, I think that's it for everything, right?
yeah, I think that's it. Unless anyone else has anything else to talk about.
No, I think we're good.
Everyone else, Gucci
Hey,
gang.
be sure to visit our events held by the Spin Zone podcast so you get to see my super illegal clock build of Silver Clock 950 Hexa.
Anyway, thank you guys so very much for listening to this episode of the Spin Zone podcast. If you guys have not done yet, so go to basinbricks.com, use code SPINZONE for 7% off your total purchase. Give us a like, comment, share, 5-star review on Spotify because we are doing another spin stand giveaway sponsored by Wayward.
Woo!
So once we get to 200 followers on Spotify, we will be doing that giveaway, and probably eventually we also will be doing TikTok and YouTube and probably everywhere else for more giveaways. So kind of stay tuned, follow for those as well. All right, guys, and until next time, so long, stay safe out there. Have a great and awesome rest of your day. Take care. Much love, guys.